I bought a new fantastic vent to replace the bathroom fan with, and here's kind of an example why we want to replace this one. Yeah, it just doesn't really cut it. And also, it's just loud even without the rattling. We can hang some weight from the fan and quiet it, but it's just kind of a makeshift. It's still loud. It doesn't move that much air. So Camping World had a sale on fantastic fans, and so that's what we're going to do now is remove this and install the new fantastic fan. We'll remove the inside cover, 4 screws for that, square drive, that's it. You can see here's the 2 power wires coming in, and that's good. Everything looks dry, so that's a good sign. There haven't been any leaks. So before we get started on the outside, let's go take a look at what the replacement looks like and unbox it. This is the new fantastic vent, model 3350. Features 3 speeds, fits the standard 14x14 opening, quiet operation, reversible, has a thermostat control, has a rain sensor so it'll close if it starts raining and the sensor gets wet. Automatic lifting, so you turn it on and it opens and closes automatically. Made in the USA. The only high-powered vent fan made in the USA is what it says. From the original manufacturer of the 12-volt fan with over 3 million fans on the road. Okay, and so the cubic feet per minute at high is 920. Amps are 3. On medium, 653 cubic feet at 2.29 amps. And on the low setting, at 478 cubic feet a minute and 1.86 amps. So it's got a pretty low power draw. So let's open the box here. Pull off the cover. Remember, this cover is also your gasket. So the fan will sit on this, and then you screw into the foam gasket. And then you'll put your Dicor self-leveling sealant on top of that, or whatever kind of a sealant you're comfortable with. Okay, so let's pull it down here. There's the dome, the top of it, and I guess it's pretty much the whole unit's coming out. So there we go. Flip it over. So it's a nice looking unit. There's the power wires, speed control, thermostat, the direction if you want to have it blowing in or out, and then this is the switch to open or close the lid. Then you can manually open or close the cover using the bell here. It should pull out on mess with that later. And here's the fuse here. So, looks like this is the top unit. It goes on the roof. The gasket will sit under it like that, and then screw it on down to the roof. So we'll set this aside right now. And this is the inner sleeve. Wiring harness and mounting screws. Okay, and the instruction manual. We won't need that. Out of the way. So this here is the inside sleeve, and this just slips up into the roof, and there's a screw in each corner to hold that up. Very easy to install. It's just pull out the old one, put in this one, and you're done. Very, very simple to do. So that's the inside. We'll start pulling off the roof here. I'm going to do a weather check, see if it looks like it's safe to do some outside work or not. Okay, so this here is the outside on the roof of the bathroom vent, and we've got this old gray sealant around here, and so we're just going to start digging that up. We take our paint scraping tool, and it's coming up pretty easily. It's hot, so everything is soft. So it shouldn't take a horribly long time to do this. Toss things down into the shade so it doesn't get into the concrete. So this will just take a little while to dig this out and get to the point where I can pull the old bath fan out and set the new fantastic vent in place. So we'll tune back in after I finish scraping out all this old stuff. Okay, so I have both an impactor and a drill driver. And for these screws, I'm just going to use the drill because I don't need the force that the impactor will create. They're just small screws, and it just doesn't require that much power. So you can see these are coming up nice and easily. Okay, that's all the screws. Let me collect these. Okay, now we'll just just try to massage the old cover up off the roof. And there it's going. It might actually be working to my benefit that it's a hot sunny day, and so all the sealant is soft and easily manipulated or removed. It's all soft, and so it comes out pretty easily. So there we go, there's the fan. Got our old wiring here. So it looks like I have to take apart the screen to get to the wires. Yeah, it appears it's all inside there, and you can see there's all the old I guess this is like the clay type of putty. There's also the bitumen or the rubber putty that is probably more of a mess to work with, but I think it probably has a higher rate of reliability. The clay stuff for putty like this has it gets hot and squishes and gets hot and squishes and comes out, and over time you lose your seal because it has squished itself out. So okay, well, let's take this apart and see what we got here. Let's get the right bit in here. Need a Phillips bit. So I can see that the wires, I can't find the joint for the wires, so I'm just going to clip them, and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so the power wire to the fan, it does have some butt connectors here, and they were jammed in there, stuck in, and so I was able to pull these out. And so we're going to cut and then splice the new wires into it. I'm going to clean off all this old sealant and get it ready for new sealant for the new fan. Just kind of being careful not to damage the metal skin of the roof. So I'll work on this and then we'll come back along with cleanup here, just getting the ridges off here. The new fan doesn't need to be slathered in with sealant like the old one was over the years. So all I have to do is kind of clean the ridges off around the perimeter, get the loose junk off of it. Then I'll hit it with some paint thinner, and if paint thinner doesn't clean it up as well as I'd like, then I'll hit it with some acetone. And so just coming in here with the utility knife, scraper blade at a low angle, trying to be careful not to dig into the metal roof. That would not be a good thing. And as you can see, it you work it a little bit, and it just kind of slices on through there, cleaning up all the ridge around the perimeter. So that's pretty much about it, and then I'll take a hammer and just flatten the old screw holes down, because the new screws are going to be in different locations. So I'll just flatten those down, get the roof cleaned up, and install the new fan. So back in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to apply some paint thinner here on paper towels and see how that does cleaning up around here. Obviously I'll have to clean up the bathroom here after I'm done, but that's okay. It's just a good excuse to clean. So it looks like paint thinner will clean this up well enough to prep it for the new seal. It's going to be that foam gasket that Fantastic Vent supplies, and then they have some cone head Phillips screws with the white enamel on that. So what I'm going to do with those is get all the screws started and run them down until about 1/8 of an inch to the bottom. And then I'm going to put a shot of Dicor into the threads of each of the screws, and then tighten the screws down into the Dicor there. That ought to create a good seal for the screws. And then I'm thinking about just putting some tape over the tops of the screws to seal them, because I'd rather not fill the Phillips head screw slots with the Dicor, because if I ever do need to come back here and service the fan, if I have to take anything apart, it's going to be kind of a chore to get to it. And so we'll deal with that in a few minutes. Just going to use a little more paint thinner on this, finish up cleaning. And so, yeah, there you go. I found a sharp spot in there. You never have enough sharp spots when you're working with stuff. Nothing like getting your finger cut. Bleach wipe and then a clean cloth, and that will complete cleaning the opening, getting it ready for the new fan. And boy, surgical gloves hate going on with sweaty hands. That's okay, I just need a little bit here so that I can use a couple of wipes to finish cleaning things off here, and then hit it with a dry cloth. Up with a clean, dry cloth, and then we'll set the lid of the fan on and get things going. gasket. And here's the fan, making sure to put the hinge towards the front. And down she goes. Okay. Alrighty, so that looks good. Everything feels good. So I'm going to run downstairs into the bathroom and check the fit there. So we are starting to put the screws for the cover down. I put a shot of caulk into each of the holes and then screwing into that. It seems that the kit they supplied had two different sizes of screw head. There's a large and a small. So I'm trying to make sure to use the large heads in the corners and the center of each side, and then the smaller ones between that. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but so I think that's just about it for the longer screw heads. So just a couple more holes to do here, and then we will start to do the lap sealant. What do we got here? Handy. Let's try this one. I was afraid of some of these screw heads are too small, and so they just go right through the holes. So let me get some other screws and with larger heads and put those in. You know, I don't know why manufacturers, they always send you mounting hardware that is just substandard. So let's go get this handled. So we are going to start applying the Dicor self-leveling sealant, and I am just going to let it go over everything here. It's just going to be easier, and I'm not really sure how well the gasket and screws will hold up over time. I did put in some square drive cone head screws with larger heads on them to seal up around the, or to it'll flow into place, and everything should be sealed and happy. I'm not sure how much neatness counts. The Dicor is self-leveling, so when you put it on here, it does flow out, and so it's a pretty warm day today. So it's entirely possible other issues may arise because the heat is going to make the stuff skin. So I don't know exactly what that is going to do performance-wise with it, but we'll see what happens. Just deal with it. But yeah, it looks like it's starting to flow out here, which is a good thing. So we're coming across the last section to do here. so it looks like that will cover everything. And then if I have to, I can come back later and address any high points or anything that needs to be dealt with. Okay, let's go to the inside and work on that now. So, examining some of the roof connections up here, I can see I just freshened all this up last year. Well, that sealant was new last year. And you can see just what has happened in only 1 year of time. It's kind of hard to get it because of the lighting, but all of this was freshened up just last year. So you got to get up and regularly check all of your roofing connections, penetrations, and make sure that things are in good shape. I'll have to get over there and look at that one later too. So we'll have to do this a bit later. Okay, but you can see here the sealant for the this fantastic vent is working out pretty good. It's all flowing into place. Okay, we have the outside of the fan installed now, and we're going to start working on the inside. We've got these here two wires, the red and white, coming through the roof framing, and we've got them butt connected to the black and white that come off of the fantastic vent. And you don't have to, but I just put some 1/4-inch split loom cover over the wire. It's not necessary. So we have to take the outer flange that rests up against the ceiling here, and this will go up. It comes deeper than what it is right now. You have to cut it. So what you do is you put it up inside of the opening, and then you scribe a line on the edge, and you can just barely see some of the remnants of the line here. Okay. So this here is the line right here, and what you do is you don't cut this line. What you have to do is measure from the flange to the line, and then transfer that from the end of the flange down, because if you cut it here, then you're going to end up with too short of a flange, and you'll see the framework in the ceiling. So you just have to remember to, when you scribe your line, you have to transfer it, invert it to the other end, so that you're only cutting out what you need. Then you make your connections here. This here wire is for the rain sensor, which plugs into right here on the circuit board. And so anyway, I'll stick these wires back in now. The factory power wires can go back into there. I've got some tape that I added on here just as extra rub protection against the fan housing and wood and so forth. So I'll put the flange on here in a second. Okay, so now I'm going to slip the flange up into the ceiling here. You see these two notches in the back corners of the fan, the cover, and then you can see the stops in these two corners on the fan housing, and so you have to notch the flange out so that it will slip up in there and come to a stop on those. And so anyway, when handing this while operating the camera, and anyway, that's how this would go. It slides up over the wire. The wire just goes up in between the two of the plastic pieces here. So I'll fasten this and then come back and record some more. Okay, the flange cover is connected now, and you can see the power wire from the truck camper comes out in between the sleeve and the housing for the fan. And there's some other wiring that's up there too. This is the rain sensor wire that will plug into the circuit board here. And then these other wires just get tucked up inside and will be concealed, hidden by the rim of the cover, the screen cover, and all the controls for the fan itself. So let me get this set up and then I'll do that installation now. And there, you just kind of wrestle all the wires up into the behind the flange housing in between the cover and controls for the fan, so that all the wires are concealed between all the pieces that go together there. And this here is one of the last pieces that goes in, and it just goes up in like that. And so I'll get the screws and finish installing this thing. And yeah, it's a pretty easy installation. Not anything anybody should be afraid of trying. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, patience, caulk, and of course money to buy the parts. Okay, let me wrap this up. Okay, and that is the completed installation of the fantastic vent replacement in the bathroom. And let's flip it on and see what we get. It's a lot quieter, it moves a lot more air, and then between that and the other fantastic vent, we can move a lot of air through the camper on those hot days, so we can have one or the other blowing in or out, or both in or both out, depending on what seems to feel the best at that time. So there you go. $225 for the fan, about $20 for Dicor self-leveling sealant. I think it was Dicor 4000, and the screws that came with the kit, and then a handful of additional screws because the kit screws weren't really that good of a quality. So there you go.